democracy is not for sale. Our democracy is not for sale. Our democracy is not for sale.
Hey everybody, Nicholas Snow here in my home broadcast studio in Palm Springs, California. But earlier today, I was in the downtown park here in Palm Springs to bring you live coverage of the International Women's Day protest and rally that was produced locally by Courageous Resistance of the Desert as well as Indivisible of the Desert. I'm guessing 400 or 500 people were there, and I'm going to bring it all to you as it happened because you're going to see a rebroadcast of what was originally a live video. I also want to invite you, if you're listening in podcast land and you only have access to the audio, to share this, but also to check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/PromoHomo.TV network, youtube.com/PromoHomo.TV network. And for all of you who are in a position to do so, if you want to support my multimedia entertainment activism for as little as $2.99 a month, and if you do that, you get exclusive content, go to youtube.com/PromoHomo.TV network/join, youtube.com/PromoHomo.TV network/join. And I would appreciate all of your help, but most importantly, view the broadcasts and share them widely. And now, coming up, the complete broadcast of the International Women's Day protest and rally, as seen right here.
Hi, it's Brad Furr, a proud media sponsor of PromoHomo.TV, and I'm the owner of K-Gay Palm Springs and Gay Desert Guide. We just wanted to say thank you and thanks to Nicholas Snow for what he does. K-Gay Radio is a worldwide streaming service of great dance hits that you can listen to anywhere, anytime. And when you're planning your visit to Greater Palm Springs, use gaydesertguide.lgbt.
Ask your smart speaker to play KGAY.
Hi, my name is Matt Scalarud, president of Pink Media and a very proud and long-term supporter of PromoHomo.TV. So at Pink Media, we've been working with companies large and small, including destinations such as this, to kind of help them target and reach the LGBT community online. And so we've been doing this for almost 30 years. And what's more important is that, it started out with banner ads and email campaigns, and now we've morphed into social media and video, and it's all about storytelling. So if you have a story and a message that you'd like to get out to a very targeted yet broad audience online, reaching the LGBT community, give us a call or reach us at www.pinkmedia.lgbt. Thanks.
The LGBTQ Community Center of the Desert is the only Coachella Valley organization dedicated to meeting the diverse needs of all LGBTQ plus individuals. From our Palm Springs McDonald Wright Building to the Center Coachella, the Scott Hines Behavioral Health Clinic, and the Community Food Bank, our mission comes to life by making meaningful connections to resources and to community that contribute to LGBTQ plus people's health and happiness. For more information, visit thecentercv.org.
I said, good morning, everyone. That's right. Where's all my ladies at? Awesome. Happy International Women's Month, really, but day. My name is Nikki Dickinson. I've been a professional singer, DJ, entertainer here for 18 years. I am a local, and I grew up in this beautiful, beautiful Coachella Valley. And it's my honor and my privilege to be here. So, we're going to kick it off with America the Beautiful. How's that sound? All right, this is our country, and we're going to take it back, aren't we? That's right. You guys can sing with me if you like to. Oh, beautiful, for spacious skies, for amber waves of rain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the blue and plains. America, America, God shed His grace on thee, and crowned thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. Thank you very much. Have fun today.
Okay, I don't know what that's about.
Oh my God, here we are again. And again, and we will keep on standing up. My name is Joy Silver. Yes, it is. And this is the Courageous Resistance Indivisible 50501 of the desert. And we are the resistance. And we ask you to join up. Join the Courageous Resistance. And you can sign up and be part of us because you're invited to do that. And there are tables in the back, and we take action. Gotta see some action. Are we ready to take some action? Woo! That's right. So be a relentless caller. Sign up for that, because it's only 1 or 2 calls a day, over and over and over, until, well, you're gonna have to take note. Take note. And if you want to be part of our rally organizer committee, we need your help, because we got a lot of protests. A lot of protests. So welcome to International Women's Day, and there's never a celebration like a good rally or protest. And now, it is my honor to introduce Palm Springs Mayor Ron DeHart.
All right, thank you, Joy. Thank you very much. I appreciate the invitation to be included this morning. It's really great to see such a crowd out here in the downtown park. And I want to talk to every single one of you, my fellow champions of justice. I come this morning to stand before you, a third-generation Mexican-American, a lineage steeped in resilience and strength. I was the first in my family to break the barrier of higher education, a testament to the power of 5 extraordinary women who raised me. I am a feminist, a believer in the inherent equality of all people, and a student of the profound wisdom of Audre Lorde. Her words, "There is no hierarchy of oppressions," have been a guiding light, a consistent reminder that our struggles are interconnected. If one of us is under attack, we are all under attack. If one of us is denied their humanity, we are all diminished. We are all responsible for one another. Our core values, the very fabric of our nation, are under relentless assault. They seek to dismantle the beauty of diversity, the fundamental right to equality and equity, and the promise of inclusion. They fear the power of unity, the strength of our collective voice. Whether they target the LGBTQIA+ rights or DEI initiatives, their aim is clear, and that's to divide and conquer. They are coming for all of us. Let me be clear. There are more of us than there are of them. In this critical moment, I want to share the powerful responsibilities, lessons I learned from the determined Stacey Abrams that will guide us through these turbulent times. First, we must speak up. Say speak up.
Speak up.
They want our silence. They believe that their vitriol and aggression will force us into submission. They expect us to remain silent when our community is under attack every single day. They expect you to ignore the injustices faced by others, believing it's not your problem. They expect immigrants to say nothing because poverty is not their problem. They seek to isolate us, to divide us into smaller and smaller groups, making us easier to target. But we will not be silenced. We will speak up. We will tell our stories, exposing the darkness of injustices within the light of truth. We will use our voices, our wallets, and our actions to challenge the status quo. We will align ourselves with those who share our values, and we will refuse to tolerate bigotry and hate. We will understand that our struggles are intertwined, that international women's rights must encompass the rights of all. We will speak up. We will speak loudly and unapologetically. We have to do what?
Speak up.
Second, we must stand firm. Say, stand firm.
Stand firm.
We face those who seek to undermine our very existence. We have elected officials who betray us. They betray their oaths. They prioritize political expediency over the well-being of their constituents. We have a president of the United States who believes that national security is enhanced by eliminating those who would sacrifice their lives for this country. If you are a member of the military, transgender or not, if you are willing to fight for me, I must fight for you.
Yes.
We must stand firm together. Say stand firm.
Stand firm.
We will stand firm against those who tell us that we have achieved enough, that we should be content with the crumbs they offer and be quiet. We will stand firm against the demonization of entire communities across this country. We will not be intimidated by their attempts to silence our parades, our protests, our voices. We will amplify our voices. We will march with greater fervor. We will do more than ever before. We will stand firm. We will stand firm, unwavering in our commitment to justice. This is our responsibility in this moment. We must do what?
Stand firm.
First, we must do what? Speak up. We'll do that again. First, we must do what? Speak up. Then we're going to do what? Stand firm. In moments of despair, when those who we have entrusted with power turn their backs on every single one of us, we must stay strong. When we are subjected to hateful slurs, when we fear and hear ourselves being called everything but a child of God, when we are told that our dead names are the only names that can be used, when our very humanity is questioned, we will not yield. We will not capitulate. We will stand strong. Say stand strong.
Stand strong.
When global crisis threatened to overwhelm us, when U.S. humanitarian aid is withdrawn from those in need, we will speak up, we will stand firm, and we will stay strong. We will demand accountability from our elected officials. We are going to call them every single day. When we wake up, before we go to bed, we are going to flood their zones and flood their narratives. Flood their offices with our voices, our concerns, and our unwavering resolve. We will stay strong. Say stay strong.
Stay strong.
Because America needs us now. We are going to do what?
Stay strong.
They seek to exploit the moments of crisis to sow division and fear. They hope you will retreat into the corners and keep quiet. That you will succumb to their intimidation tactics and shut up. They underestimate our resilience, our unwavering commitment to justice. They will be proven wrong. We will stay strong. We're going to do what? First, we're going to do what?
Stand up.
Then we're going to
Stand firm.
Then we're going to
Stay strong.
We're going to do what?
Stay strong.
We're going to do what? And then we're going to do what? Stay
Stand.
strong. Thank you all so very much.
And that is the mayor of Palm Springs, Ron DeHart. Oh, that's why we love living here. He's one of the reasons. And days like this and the strength of the people in this rally. Our next speaker. Well, one moment. Let's talk about voter registration, because this is where it sits. Becky, she is the chair or the coordinator of the Voter Registration Committee, and she has a special message for you.
Hi, everyone. Now, I am assuming that almost every one of you is registered to vote. But if you're not, there's a voter registration table, and there are also 2 people walking around with clipboards to register your vote. But that isn't what's important right now. I also know, because I do voter registration, that a lot of you are no party preference voters or independents. Let me tell you something. You need today to re-register with a party. They don't know how many of us are against them unless they see the numbers in a party, because they believe independents really don't care one way or the other, and we know better. So please, if you are an independent or a no party preference voter in California, please re-register today with a party. I won't tell you which party, because we do nonpartisan voter registration, but you all know which party you need to sign up with. Let them know how many of us there are. Let them know how many of us there are. Thank you. And again, voter registration table in the back, and there are people walking around with orange vests that have voter registration forms and QR codes for you to do it easily with your phone. Thank you.
Thank you, Becky. Our next speaker, I introduce to you Anise Smith, attorney for justice. Here she comes.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, friends, neighbors, advocates. And good morning to everyone except Donald Trump and his boss, Elon Musk, and anyone who works to dismantle our democracy, take away our rights, and turn this country into some warped version of The Handmaid's Tale, where women are stripped of their bodily autonomy and their voice. But I'm glad to be here today, together with all of you. You all look so beautiful. Look at all these signs. Everybody, let's see them. Amazing, amazing, truly amazing. And I know that we're gathered here in purpose and in spirit because we're here to defend our values and our communities and our futures. And we're here because this fight is necessary. We're not going to stand by and watch while corrupt billionaires, extremist politicians, and a divisive fear agenda tries to determine our future. Are we going to stand by and let that happen? No! I don't think so, and that's why we're all here today. We're facing a daunting reality of 4 more years, at least, if it's up to him, under Donald Trump. We've already seen the damage that they've caused. But let me ask you, and I'm going to ask you a few questions today, and I want to hear nice and loud what your answer is. Are we ready to throw in the towel? No! That's right. Are we going to tuck tail, hide, and let them divide us? No! In the spirit of not backing down, this is, after all, International Women's Day. And I do want to talk to you about a few women who did not back down and who should inspire us in times like this. The first, Shirley Chisholm. In 1968, she became the first black woman elected to Congress. And when she got there, she was dismissed. She was told she did not belong. And she was assigned to committees that others thought were irrelevant. But she did not back down. She used her position to advocate for food programs that fed millions of children and families. And when they asked her why she didn't quit, she said, if they don't give you a seat at the table, you bring a what? A chair. A folding chair. You bring a folding chair. And what about Dolores Huerta? Yes. Dolores Huerta, still today fighting, advocating. She co-founded the United Farm Workers Union and dedicated her life to fighting for the rights of workers and their families. She faced incredible backlash, violence, and attempts to discredit her. But she stood firm. And her rallying cry, "Si se puede! Si se puede! Si se puede! Yes, I can. Yes, we can. This is a rallying cry of collective action and resilience. Look around you right now. This is our community. This is who we will be standing with as we face everything that is going to come against us. Look to the left and look to the right. We are not alone. And as the mayor said, there are more of us than there are of them. And then Eleanor Roosevelt, First Lady and later UN delegate. She faced criticism for speaking out on civil rights, human rights, and equality at a time when women were expected to stay in the background. And she famously said, "The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams." Her courage reminds us that standing up for what's right is never easy, but it's always worth it. These are women. This is International Women's Day. And we're talking about women who faced down attempts to silence them, and they did not allow those voices to limit their impact. Women and our allies will lead the way to fight for our families and our communities, and for the right to choose what happens to our own bodies. It is women who will lead the way, and we will not back down. So in closing, because this is International Women's Day, I want to say this, and please hear me when I say it. I hope every woman feels the full force of her power, even when the world tries to shrink us, even when they call us too much, too loud, or not enough, even when it feels easier to stay quiet. Take up space, speak loudly, and stand firm. The power is yours, and we will not let them steal it. So I'm going to ask you this. Are we going to stay silent as they continue to appoint judges who attack our reproductive freedoms?
No!
Are we going to allow this administration to target immigrants, separate families, and ban refugees seeking safety and a better life?
No!
And are we going to sit by idly as he continues to spread lies, undermine our democracy, and incite division and hate?
No!
We will resist the dismantling of our civil rights. We will persist against attempts to silence the press and weaponize the justice system. And we will insist on a government that works for all of us, not just the wealthy and well-connected. So I want to end because this is our community. So show me what community looks like. This is what community looks like. Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Show me what community looks like.
This is what community looks like.
Thank you so much. God bless you. My name is Anise Smith, and I just want to end by saying trans lives matter. Immigrants' lives matter. No human is illegal, and it is women who will lead the way. Thank you.
Let's hear it for Anise Smith. Our next speaker. She knows a thing or two. I can see her sign says, "Women's rights are human rights, and human rights are women's rights." Julie Bornstein, former California Assembly member, served as Chief Deputy State Controller, and she's now Housing Advisor to California State Controller Malia Cohen. I introduce to you the great Julie Bornstein.
Well, I appreciate being called great, but I have a feeling I have more in common with the folks here as a baby boomer. Not a lot of baby boomers here? Good. Have we seen this film before? So let me remind you just a little bit of some of the things that we grew up with. Okay, I got the signal. All right. We grew up where women couldn't get credit cards without a male cosigner.
That's right. Yes.
We grew up without women's sports. Now you might say, all right, so little girls couldn't play baseball or basketball, but you know how many college scholarships go to athletes? So if little girls can't grow into big girls who play softball, who grow into women, or who play soccer, or who play basketball, they miss out on the financial support to go to college. these little things become big things. We grew up before Roe versus Wade. We had friends I grew up in San Diego, so we had friends who went to Mexico to take their chances on terminating a pregnancy. When Roe versus Wade came in, we thought we've arrived. And a half century later, we're back in 1960. We ended up marching for women's rights, for civil rights, and to end a war. And we won by marching. We ended a war. We got civil rights. We got women's rights. So I have to say to all of my fellow boomers, we knew we did it before, we're going to do it again. Now we have fancy labels. The current fancy label is DEI. Have you ever heard anybody proudly say that they weren't for inclusion? Have you ever heard of anybody say they were proudly against equality? It sounds ridiculous. For us boomers who are retired, how many financial advisors told us that diversity was a good thing?
That's right.
Well, diversity is a good thing in humans just like it is in your financial portfolio.
Yes.
Equality is good for everybody because we all have our talents, and when we are able to achieve those talents and move it into potential, everybody gains. I was lucky along the way to have a number of wonderful mentors. One of them was Jackie Spear. Jackie used to tell a story when she was out on the stunt. For some of you who may not know Jackie Spear, she was my colleague in the legislature. She then went on to Congress. She retired from Congress a few years ago, and now she's back as a member of the Board of Supervisors up in the Bay Area. But Jackie told a story that helped us realize how everyone's potential, if realized, can achieve great things for all of us. And I frankly don't know if the story is true or not, but it's a wonderful story, so I'm going to just briefly go over it with you. But Winston Churchill's father had a huge estate in England, and his gardener lived on the premises, was a full-time job. And at one point, one of the children of the Churchill family fell into a pond, and the gardener saved him, brought him out, saved his life. And Churchill's relatives said, "What can we do to show you how much we appreciate what you've done for our family?" And the gardener said, "Well, I have a child who I'd love to send for higher education, but I can't afford it." And so the Churchill family paid for that person to get their education and become, as it turned out, a medical researcher who discovered that if you developed a certain kind of mold, it could turn into penicillin, and it could save all these people in the world. And that child, if it hadn't received that financial support, would have not been able to realize their potential. And so that's why we know that diversity is a positive, equality is a positive, opportunity is a positive, and inclusion is a positive, because we all bring a talent to the table, and that's going to help all of us. You heard Anise talk about community. You heard Joy talk about community. You heard the mayor talk about what we have to do. If we all do it together, we can achieve it. Now, in between my government work, I taught American government at College of the Desert, and taught my students about the Constitution. One of the things that we assume when our elected officials raise their right hand and take that oath to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, that they mean it. In fact, usually if somebody swears to something, like in a court of law, and they're not telling the truth, there's a criminal penalty that goes along with that. But what we saw on January 20th was a person who raised his right hand, said that oath, and didn't mean a single word of it. He didn't put his hand on the Bible, but frankly, in our society, that's not required. But he had the Bible there for show, And we know that he's a lot about show and a lot about no substance at all. So he's committed fraud on the United States. And I would say his co-conspirator is Supreme Court Justice John Roberts, because he knew darn well that when Trump said he was going to preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the United States, that he didn't mean a word of it, and Roberts went along with the charade. So we have to go back to the origins of our democracy. The origins of our democracy is everybody around you. It is we, the people. And what we learned in the 60s and the early 70s is if we, the people, demand our rights, if we, the people, preserve, protect, and defend our Constitution, if we, the people, demand that our elected representatives be responsive to us, then we, the people, will win. But it will take all of us. So I want to urge you all to take up the opportunity to not only register to vote yourself, make sure everybody in your community is registered. In this last election, 36% of the eligible voters did not vote. And if we, the people, want to exercise our power, we all have to do it together. All right, so who's going to get us back on track, preserve our democracy, make sure that we have diverse opportunities, that we have equality, and that we have inclusion? Who is going to do it? We, the people. Thank you for coming out today. Let's keep marching.
Julie Bornstein. Yes. Yes. Our next speaker, born in Coachella, moved to Riverside, and became the Riverside City Council member for Ward 2, Clarissa Cervantes.
Thank you, thank you. I feel like I'm being called up for a boxing match. I'm ready to go. All right, everyone, thank you so much. It is an honor to be here in my hometown of Coachella Valley. I want to share with you a little story. I was born and raised in the city of Coachella, off Van Buren Avenue 51. I was raised by farm workers, and we were very privileged, and I always acknowledge my privilege, the fact that we were able to be a Mexican-American family who had land. And as I was raised, I was taught the stories of my grandparents, who are my cornerstones, and I may get emotional because every time I talk about them, I do. But my grandfather and my great tios, they were on the front lines and went to fight against the Nazi regime, to fight for freedom, to fight for democracy. And I will not let their efforts go in vain. My mother migrated over here when she was a little girl, and when I was 8 years old, I had the honor of watching her become a U.S. citizen. I am a product of migration, and I am a proud product of immigrants.
Yes!
So when we talk about the American dream, my family to me is the American dream. Those who were not afraid to fight in the face of fascism, those who were not afraid to go and pursue a better life and then help others along the way to show them how that we can be a part of this society, how we can work together as a community. And that's what I'm so proud, that I was raised to believe in community, how we can fight and come together. And I was raised to always start these types of efforts with the union clap. So I'm going to put this mic down, and I want all of us today, right now, to do the union clap. Hands up. You don't know how to do it, you're going to learn today. All right. That clap is a representation of our heartbeats, harmony, and how we can send ripples of wave when we band together. And I want to thank our former elected who shared about the power of us taking an oath. And I want you to know, when I took my oath, I took that oath to defend democracy. I took that oath to not be quiet, especially when we see our Constitution is under attack. And I am always going to fight for each and every single one of you. And so I'm just going to leave you with this. When I was a little girl,
I'm so grateful that my mother, who's been a public educator for over 35 years, she just retired, but she taught me and would take me to the library, the public library, and would tell me, choose a person in history you want to learn about. Over the years, I chose Cesar Chavez, Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, Harriet Tubman. I also just want to say, Black woman, cornerstone of freedom in America. And I told her when I was a little girl, when I was looking and watching movies on the March on Washington, my heart, I was like, Mom, I missed it. I was supposed to be there. I was supposed to be fighting on the front lines because I felt so much power when I heard these leaders speak. And I just was like, Mom, I should have been there. And she would look at me and say, no, mija, you were not supposed to be there because we need you now. Your time is now. And the time will come where the people will need you to speak and fight, and I know that you will. And so I want to remind all of you, you were born in the right time. This is the lifeline that we need to make sure that every person who literally died for us to have the freedoms we have today, that is what is on the line right now. And I am prepared to fight to the death for my freedom, for the people, because my liberation is tied with your liberation. And so I thank you, and I'm going to turn it over and say that I want every person here to know you are loved, you are seen, you matter, you belong, and if you ever need a friend or someone to call, Joy has my number. But please reach out, and I want you to know you belong. Thank you. I love
you. Clarissa Cervantes! Woo! She is the Palm Springs Chapter Association of Nurse and AIDS Care President. Here today to speak to you is Kim Skeet.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you for having me. How are we all feeling today? I'm so honored to be here, and when I was asked to come, I was like, okay. I was a little hesitant because I was scared. I was scared because I feel our safe spaces aren't safe enough. But coming here today, I see that all of you have created such a welcoming space. I see your signs. I've talked to some of you, and I'm honored to be here. So I just wrote something from my heart, and I would like to share with you all today. Today we come together to celebrate the extraordinary tapestry of achievements, resilience, and unshakable strength that is the story of women worldwide. On this International Women's Day, I stand before you not only as a trans woman, but as someone deeply honored to share this moment with all of you, a moment dedicated to uplifting the voices, dreams, and triumphs of all women everywhere. My journey as a trans woman has been one of profound self-discovery, courage, and relentless pursuit of authenticity. To embrace my true self has been both the hardest and most liberating chapter of my life. It is a vivid reminder that with every woman, no matter her background, journey, or identity, deserves to live her truth boldly, unapologetically, and without fear of erasure or rejection. Every woman's identity deserves celebration, not skepticism. Her story matters, her voice matters, and her existence is essential. When I reflect on the history of women's progress, I cannot help but honor the unsung warriors, women of Black, brown, and indigenous communities who have tirelessly led the charge for justice and change. These trailblazers inspire me every single day as a Black trans woman. I have faced challenges that at times felt life-ending. Barriers to rights others might take for granted, but amidst the adversity, I have also experienced the power of solidarity with our shared womanhood, cisgender and trans women alike. Standing together, rewriting the narrative of what it means to be a woman into the world today. Together we rise to break stereotypes and shatter glass ceilings hand in hand. International Women's Day is more than a celebration of women. It is a celebration of diversity, the lifeblood of our collective strength. It is our differences in gender, race, identity, and culture and lived experiences that weave together the vibrant fabric of our shared humanity. Let us champion this diversity, lean into empathy, and embrace the unbreakable solidarity of sisterhood. It is here in the beauty of our unity that we discover our power to transform the world. When women unite, the impossible becomes achievable. Together, we are an unstoppable force, capable of moving mountains and creating ripples of change across generations. Let us continue to uplift one another with compassion and amplify the voices of those most marginalized to create spaces where all women feel seen, heard, and celebrated. As we cast our gaze towards the horizon, may we remain unwavering in our pursuit of gender equality and justice. Let us light the way for future generations of women. Let us dream boldly and challenge status quo without fear. Let us walk in our unique paths with our heads held high. The work we do today is not only for us, it is for the young girls who look to us with hope, waiting for their turn to lead and thrive. My heart is filled with gratitude for the women who came before me, those who broke barriers, paved paths, so I and countless others could stand here today. You are the blueprint of inspiration and the heartbeat of my journey. To every woman here, thank you for your strength, thank you for your courage, and thank you for your light. You remind me every day that womanhood is boundless, powerful, and extraordinary. I want to add this, because I wasn't sure what to expect when I came here today. I've been in this town, I've lived in this town for 8 years. I'm a Black trans woman who works in healthcare. When I tell you right now, I have never been more scared in my life because of what is going on. But when I look out and see all of this, your trans sisters are here. There's more like me in this town. We need you. Remember that ally is a verb always. And when I see all of this and I hear all of you, I feel seen and I feel heard. So I cannot thank you enough for coming out and showing support, because we are stronger together. Thank you.
Kim Skeet, show some love. Yes, take that bow. She's 21 years old, they tell me. Not Kim Skeet, but our next speaker. She's 21 years old, Code Pink's Madison Eberts, doula at 21. And co-founder of Radically Inclusive Birthwork Collective, Madison Eberts. Let's hear it.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Maddie Eberts, and I stand before you today as a representative of Code Pink Coachella Valley and as a birth worker. For those unfamiliar, Code Pink is a grassroots feminist organization fighting for peace, human rights, and an end to U.S. militarism. As a doula and student midwife, I have the honor of supporting women through birth, postpartum, and abortion care. I witness the innate power and vulnerability of women's bodies every single day. I became a birth doula at just 17, a year before Roe v. Wade is overturned. Walking into my first birth, I was filled with idealism. I walked out forever changed, in awe of women's strength, but horrified by the clinical disregard for her dignity and autonomy. 4 years later, that combination of reverence and outrage still follows me from almost every birth. The devastating truth is that the women I support have fewer rights today than when I began this work. I've watched our freedoms shrink rather than grow, a regression that should enrage us all. I speak today as a white woman with privilege, and I recognize that this privilege comes with responsibility to stand alongside and amplify the voices of women who face the greatest threats, both globally and here at home. As Audre Lorde once said, "I am not free while any woman is unfree, even when her shackles are very different from my own." Around the world, systems of power control, neglect, and violate women's bodies, especially those in marginalized communities. From Palestine to Afghanistan to America, women's bodies are under siege. In Palestine, women and children make up 70% of casualties in Israel's genocide. In Afghanistan, gender apartheid has erased women from public life. Here in America, Black women die from pregnancy complications at 3 to 4 times the rate of white women, while Indigenous women are murdered at rates 10 times higher. Trans women are over 4 times more likely to experience violence than cis women. A woman is killed every 10 minutes by an intimate partner or family member. Conflict-related sexual violence has surged 50% since 2022. And women only possess 64% of men's legal rights worldwide. From Thai women trapped in human egg farms to abortion bans causing women to bleed to death, our bodies are battlegrounds, commodified by systems sharing one goal: the devaluation of women's autonomy. While these international crises may seem distant, U.S. foreign policy directly impacts women globally. The global gag rule prevents organizations receiving U.S. aid from discussing abortion services, affecting 690 million women worldwide. This represents just one dimension of a broader pattern of violence against women's bodies. From the physical to the systemic, from the intimate to the institutional. This violence isn't random or inevitable, it's systematic. Rooted in power structures that devalue women's bodies and lives, creating a web of oppression that entraps women worldwide. In 2025, a woman's right to safety, dignity, and autonomy depends largely on who she is and where she lives. This is the antithesis of justice. Our feminism must be global and intersectional, or it will fail those who need it the most. With that understanding, I call on all of us to demand Israel stop blocking humanitarian aid to Gaza. And respect international ceasefire orders. Fight for reproductive justice that addresses both Black maternal mortality and abortion access. Pressure legislators to permanently repeal the global gag rule. Amplify the voices of Afghan women in their struggle. Confront gender-based violence everywhere. And put your money where your mouth is. Stop funding corporations that lobby against your rights. And if nothing else, please call your legislators. They work for you, not the other way around. As birth workers, community organizers, and simply as human beings, we must leverage our privilege for good, using our voices not to speak over others, but to amplify them, and break down the systems that threaten women's bodily autonomy worldwide. On this International Women's Day, let us remember that women's bodies are not battlegrounds. They are not territories to be conquered, resources to be exploited, or vessels to be controlled. They are sacred and they are sovereign. Looking out at this crowd, I see generations of women standing united in purpose and in power. At 21 years old, I'm likely among the youngest here today. But this movement spans across ages and experiences. So let this be a reminder. You are never too young or too old to take action. The fight for women's rights belongs to all of us. And when we say, my body, my choice, we must fight for that right for every woman, everywhere. Our solidarity must cross borders, generations, and identities. Only together, with voices raised and actions aligned, can we create a world where women's bodies are truly respected, protected, and free. Thank you.
Our next speaker, she is a political organizer for SEIU Local 721, Juanita Salas. Thank you. Good morning, Palm Springs! Buenos dias!
I am definitely honored to be invited to come speak today. I grew up here in Coachella in Imperial Valley. I was raised in the fields of Coachella, Mecca, Thermal, picking grapes here in the Coachella Valley and lettuce in Imperial Valley. I am definitely honored to be here today because we as women have been fighting for a really long time. One of my mentors once told me, we stand on the shoulders of giants, yes or no? Yes. One of those mentors that told me that was Dolores Huerta. She also said, walk the street with us into history. Get off the sidewalk. And that is exactly what every single person here today is doing. You're getting off the sidewalk. I am a union organizer here in the Coachella Valley in Palm Springs area, Inland Empire. I represent public service employees who deliver public services to our community. And at this point in time, these workers are fighting every single day, not only for their jobs, but also for our community here in the desert. So I just wanted to also start off, let's do the labor clap. Let's go ahead and start that. Let's give these public service workers a message that we are together with them. Let's get off the sidewalk. Let's get off the sidewalk and start walking and talk, not only talking the talk, but walking the talk, right? And so I had a couple of facts that I wanted to share here today. Like I said, I'm a union organizer. I organize public service employees in this county and also San Bernardino County. These two counties are the size of West Virginia and New Jersey. Did you know that? And so I work with women. I work with men as well. But I see women who always leave it all in the field. And I know that if you are a woman and you're standing at this rally, you know that you dedicate yourself not only to your family, to your job, but to your community. So I want to honor those women who are standing up, who are moms. I saw a little girl here who are moms who wake up every single day to fight not only for themselves, their families, but also the communities. And so I wanted to point out, when I was born, around the time I was born, we still did not have the chance to have a bank account or a credit card. Right? 1974. Before 1974, women were not allowed to have a bank account or a credit card. Before 1973, women were not allowed to serve on jury duty. Did you know that? Before 1977, women had no legal protection from harassment at work. Before 1973 and after 1922, there was no guaranteed right to abortion. Before 1978, women could be fired because they were pregnant. Before 1970s, it was difficult for women to get a divorce. Before 2018, public chest and breastfeeding wasn't legal in all states. Before 1988, women couldn't get a business on their own name. There are many, the list goes on. The list goes on. And women before us have been fighting for these rights. I pay homage to the previous speakers. I'm honored to be on this stage because these women who have been up here have been leading the community in many, many different ways. And I want to mention that we are still fighting. Rights we are still fighting for on this International Day. They include globally 119 million girls remain out of school. Can you believe that? 40% of women worldwide live in countries with restricted laws on abortion. Approximately 800 women die every day from preventable causes related to pregnancy and childbirth. Thank you so much for my sister who was up here, my sisters who were up here talking about those issues. Safety. In Mexico, 10 women are murdered every day in acts of femicide. In the Democratic Republic of Congo, Sudan, thousands of women and girls suffer as sexual violence continues to be used as a weapon of war. Millions of women and girls are affected by digital abuse technology facilitated violence every year, yet only 12% are protected by laws addressing cybersexual harassment. Globally, women are paid less than men across all regions, with gender pay gap estimated to be around 20%. 32 million girls live in countries with high child marriage rates. 12 million girls marry before the age of 18 every year. There's countries like Bangladesh, Cambodia, Vietnam, and India, garment workers, 80% of whom are women, endure unsafe working conditions and low wages. Less than 2% of garment workers earn a living wage. The list goes on and on. And what I wanted to talk about today is the fact that we need to get off that sidewalk. I am an organizer, and I am here to organize every single person in this rally because we fight every single day. In the labor movement, right now, we're looking at Congress. We're talking to them, and we're doing lobby visits and rallies and town halls. There is a congressional recess coming up next weekend. We are organizing not only actively with Ken Calvert's office. They want to cut our Medicare. Medicare is a women's right, yes or no? When I raise my hand like this, I'm going to say, when women's rights are under attack, what do we say? We stand up, fight back. One more time. When women's rights are under attack, what do? We stand up and we fight back. We look at everything that's going on in the world. These statistics, alarming statistics. We are in 2025. Damn it. I'm angry. People like Dolores Huerta. She once shared first Trump race. She looked at me and she said, "Oh, baby girl, you're crying. Why are you crying? This is the first time you get your heart broken, right?" And I said, "Possibly, yeah." And she says, remember the 70s? Remember the 60s? Your mom, your aunt, your grandma, they got their heart broken as well. And so what did we do back in the 60s, 70s, and 80s? We stood up and we fought back. So she drove me to crying after Hillary lost and said, "You need to stand up and fight back." She looked at me in the eyes and said, "You need to stand up and you need to fight back." So that's what we're doing here today. And I really hope that every single person at this rally multiplies. And you go and talk to your sister, to your cousin, to your neighbor. And you say, "You know what? Medicare is a women's rights issue. We're going to call Calvert's office this week. And we're going to tell him that Medicare is a women's rights issue. And this is Women's History Month, yeah? So everybody pull out your phone. I'm going to give you Ken Calvert's phone number. democracy. So let's all call Ken Calvert, yeah? All right, let me give you his phone number. You ready? You have your notes out? All right. Oh. Okay, 760-620-0041. Put that in your notes on your app, on your phone. Give him a call this week, all right? Monday, give him a call at 8 a.m. Ready? 760-620-0041. Medicare is a woman's rights issue. We should all be participating in this democracy. Thank you for the previous speakers. Thank you to everybody who invited me here today. It's an honor.
Juanita Salas! Now we know that some opinions expressed here today are controversial, and not all people ascribe to all opinions as we give them. But I want to say that the opinions expressed here are strictly those of the person who gave them. They are not the Courageous Resistance Indivisible 50501's opinions. So please, we have room for all of us. We need to make room for all of us. And the veterans of this country who stand up and stood up and died for democracy, no, we will not let their benefits and rights be taken from them. And that's what this president is trying to do. So we will stand up and stand with them and march into the battle, into the war that they're forcing us into, to stand up and win our democracy. Oh no, we won't let them do that. So we're going to stand here. And now I'm going to introduce to you. He's from Gay Georgia.
Let's hear it for joy. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood, a beautiful day for our LGBTQ plus community and our beloved allies. Thank you. We are so lucky to live in a community that values diversity, equity, and inclusion. We are so lucky to have a police force like the one we do. Andy Mills and the police that are here keeping us safe. Martin Coogan is doing a wonderful job of a sign language interpretation. Let's hear it for Martin. DJ Galaxy from our staff, I called and I said, you know what, we need louder sound for this next round. He said, I'm there. And Galaxy has brought his sound for us today to make sure everybody is heard loud and clear. Now you're probably saying to yourself, yeah, all of these wonderful women have been speaking, but what about those 50-something cisgender privileged gay white males? What do they have to say? All right. I come from radio, and we try and play the hits. So I have a couple of greatest hits, and they're pieces of sound that Galaxy is going to play, and they are inspirational women who over the years and over the decades have been at the forefront of the movement. They have inspired people to act. They've inspired each and every one of us in their own special ways. Now, when we play these sound clips, see if you can name who the speaker is. Go for it.
Belongs to all of us, not just those at the top. America is strong when we're all strong. And we know we've got work to do. That work is not to make America great again. America never stopped being great. We have to make America whole. We have to...
Who was that? Hillary! All right, that was too easy. We got one. This one might be a little more difficult, but she has definitely shaken up the world for women. Here it is.
As women, we have to start appreciating our own worth and each other's worth. Seek out strong women to befriend, to align yourself with, to learn from, to be inspired by, to collaborate with, to support. Everyone who gave me hell said I could not. Your resistance made me the woman that I am today.
Who is it? Madonna. I know, that was a hard one. All right. The next one I think you're going to get right off. Play the hits.
You are struggling and you start thinking about giving up. I want you to remember the power of hope, the belief that something better is always possible if you're willing to work for it and fight for it. Our hope that if we work hard enough and believe in ourselves, then we can be whatever we dream, regardless of the limitations that others may place on us.
Who is that? Oh, you got it. Michelle Obama. All right, you're doing well. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Let's see if you get the next one. Hit it.
When we elect a possible president, we too often go home. We've elected an impossible president. We're never going home. We're staying together. And we're taking over. Make sure you introduce yourselves to each other and decide what we're going to do tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow. And we're never turning back. Thank you.
Who is it? Gloria Steinem. You're very good. Very good. All right. My final clip, and I think you're going to guess this one because it was a speech that was given only a few weeks ago, but it broke the internet. Hit it.
Make no mistake, empathy is not weak or woke. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people. A whole lot of people are going to be really hurt by what is happening. We need to call upon our empathy and not judge, but listen from our hearts and welcome them into our tent, because we are going to need a big tent to resist successfully what's coming at us. We must not isolate. We must find ways to project an inspiring vision of the future, one that is beckoning, welcoming, that will help people believe that, to quote the novelist Pearl Cleage, on the other side of the conflagration, there will still be love, there will still be beauty, and there will be an ocean of truth for us to swim in. Let's make it so.
Who is it? Jane Fonda. Man, she's walked the walk and talked the talk since the 60s, and she's still inspiring. And I love the sentiment of a big tent. As we were setting up the sound, there was a gentleman of a certain age walking by, and he said, "Oh, when are you starting the music?" And I said, "Oh, no, it's a rally and a protest. Protesting Donald Trump and Elon Musk for International Women's Day." He goes, "Oh, I'm not interested in politics." And I said, "Guess what? Politics is interested in you." And we need that big tent. And we need to be together as allies, as men, as women, as LGBTQIA plus A, B, C, D, E, F, G, the whole alphabet, the big tent. Thank you, Palm Springs. I love you.
KK, turn on that radio and have a party, because it's our joy that gets us through it all. It is our joy, and I hope today that I can be your joy. So thank you to all our fabulous speakers. Thank you to all the volunteers. Thank you to everybody who turned out here today. And I want to take a minute and I want to share something with you. Please go back to the table. Sheriff accountability flyers are back there. We know he's running for governor. We got to make sure he doesn't get his ass outside of Riverside County. We're going to stop him right here. Yosemite Sam cannot go forward. That rootin' tootin' sheriff. And we want you to sign up. Sign up to the Courageous Resistance Indivisible and see us on once a month on Mondays. And join that Relentless Caller program that Juanita Salas was talking about. She knows what she's talking about. Yes, she does. And we want you to also join up and help us organize more protests and more rallies, you have the opportunity to do that. So sign up. And I want to share with you what gives me hope. In our American history, what gives me hope is remembering the strength of the women like Fannie Lou Hamer and Dolores Huerta and Madeline Bella Abzug. All the women in our history who faced decades of activism through ridicule, abuse, sexual violence, imprisonment, where some of them were tortured. But they got the vote. What gives me hope is reading the signs that people brought here today, and we have some doozies out there. And I'm looking at them, and they look wonderful. So please read out the signs. And what gives me hope is this rally, this spiritual experience of standing with others so that I can be part of something bigger than myself. We can't control what happens in the White House, but we can control what happens in our house, and this rally is our house. We invite you to become part of the courageous resistance and be indivisible, not invisible. And let's do it as 50-51, 50 states, 50 protests, one voice. We will stand up to the bullies. The wealthiest men in the world want to take lunch money from children who might not eat. Our children of America and the generations in front of them are not for sale. The bullies who want to take away the right of refugees, the very lifeblood of America, their rights to be here clearly at the foot of the Statue of Liberty. America's lifeblood is not for sale. They want to take away Medicaid and Medicare from the vulnerable and financially fragile, our rights to health care to keep us all healthy. Our health is not for sale. Bullies that put trans children who are at the most risk with the highest suicide rate of any group in America. Their protections, they're not for sale. We witnessed the bullying of a world leader holding the line in the Ukraine. He's fighting for freedom and democracy in the world. Bullied by a suit-wearing, makeup-sprayed, hair-plugged, shoe-lift-wearing, never serving in the military, privileged, protected by inherited wealth, treason-committing, wannabe king, trying to push us back to the medieval times. Oh, no. Hell no. Our democracy is not for sale. Our democracy is not for sale. Our democracy is not for sale. So thank you for coming out today to show everybody that our democracy is not for sale. So tell me what democracy looks like. This is what democracy looks like. Thank you so much.
Check out the YouTube channel at youtube.com/PromoHomo.TV network. youtube.com/PromoHomo.TV network. And for all of you who are in a position to do so, if you want to support my multimedia entertainment activism for as little as $2.99 a month, and if you do that, you get exclusive content, go to youtube.com/PromoHomo.TV network/join. youtube.com/PromoHomo.TV network/join. And I would appreciate all of your help, but most importantly, view the broadcasts and share them widely.
Like a diamond cut my heart like glass, just like that. Like a lion, uncontrolled. Your mark is on my back, just like that. In it for the big thrill. Yeah, you play games with my mind, always, all of the time. In it for the big win. Yeah, you own all of my mind, always, all of the time, all the time. Collide with me, come high with me, and I'll go for you. Divine and free, go ride with me. Yeah, we'll go. Like the fire in, lose control. We like to burn out fast. We're hot like that. Like a diamond, you alone. You cut my heart like glass, just like that. Yeah, in it for the big thrill. Yeah, you play games with my mind, always, all of the time. In it for the big win. Yeah, you own all of my mind, always, all of the time, all the time.
In a safe place, I got room to breathe. Been a long chase, but at last I'm free. These open woods, I knew I could find peace here. Nothing